if we couldn't face check, we just flip it, maybe enemy team has really good zone and then you can't walk in and then you all die and like, oh shit, well, we could do it. But now we can't do it in advance. And yeah, I got told I can't go into too much detail,
Yeah.
So I'll keep it right there.
Yeah.
I'll cut it.
Hi everyone, it's Tom reporting from the LEC Summer Split, and with me here is Mikyx, the support of G2, who had an O2 weekend. Not the best performance that we've seen from them so far, and especially the final game, which is always a banger between Fnatic and G2, and once again was a bloodbath, but Mikyx, a game against Fnatic and losing it, does it still sting a bit extra when it's Fnatic?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Every team has something that's, well, yeah, against every team it stings. But if you lose, sometimes for different reasons, like if you lose to like a worse team, it sucks because you lost to a worse team. If you lose to a better team, you're like, we're too bad, we get stomped, With Fnatic, just like, I guess we have this rivalry. And I mean, I know all their players pretty well. I'm pretty good friends with them. So, I mean, it doesn't sting that bad because, like, I'm kind of happy for them at least. Kind of similar for Vitality. So, yeah, sucks for us, but
so
you
helped your friends get a win, so that
yeah. No problem, guys.
Yeah. Obviously, when results like this happen, people like to overreact and immediately throw wild speculations into the air. You see saying, oh, probably every player on your lineup is washed up, your coach is washed up, and everybody should retire. I'm not saying that you should already look at which TCL team you want to join, but how is it for you to start a split a bit more tumultuous than we're used to seeing from G2?
I mean, it's a bit awkward. I mean, our score is still 4-3, so it's not bad. I think we should still be able to make playoffs like pretty easily. I think we played most of the good teams. I mean, I guess we have Misfits next week, but yeah, I think we should be able to win the rest of our games because we also learned a lot from these two losses, especially around draft. And there's also a new patch next week, which changes things up a little bit. Maybe no more Tam Kench in the bot lane. That's great news. It's really probably going to be played, just not as a peeler support as much, I guess. I don't know. Didn't seem that much yet, but yeah, I think this new patch is going to be interesting. I think we're usually pretty decent at adapting to new patches, so yeah, it should be fine next week, honestly. I don't really mind the 4-3 start. Still decent.
Right. You mentioned the learning part, and that's something we've heard from several people on the roster now, especially with the addition of Nelson, who's trying to implement very meticulous coaching into the team. So when do you kind of expect that the team is naturally going to integrate all this coaching? Because I can imagine you're getting a lot of maybe not necessarily new information, but very detailed coaching. Okay, this and this and this should do. But when do you expect that the team is naturally going to integrate this?
I think at least like 3 more weeks to actually get all the stuff done that we're currently working on. I think, yeah, we've been working a lot on Drake setups. I'm still not sure if we're doing it properly or if what we're doing makes sense. Because, yeah, you always kind of trade something for it, like to be on the Drake a bit earlier. Usually sacrifice the mid waves, right, or mid towers. So I think we just have to, yeah, play it more in scrims, see how it works. I think for, I guess, support playstyle, it's a little bit different than last split. There's a lot more roaming going on, trying to use every window that you can to try to punish like other lanes, which everyone's kind of doing now. But just it's more than last split. That's still something to get used to, I guess, or to look for better opportunities and then do something, in anticipation of the enemy knowing that, and maybe just like doing something
be
else.
more proactive in the place you
want.
Like
if they expect you to go top, you might just as well run a straight bot and punish their AD carry that thinks you're probably roaming if you have like a really good timing, right? Or I don't know. Just more games will probably equal to better understanding of how we want to play. Also how we allocate lanes, how we move around the map, yeah, still stuff to work on. But yeah, I assume in like 3 weeks we should get most of the stuff down.
Yeah, can you maybe explain, because for a viewer who is not on that pro level, which many of the people who are in the community are not, it might be a bit strange to see, okay, this is a team that used to be in the top, they used to pretty easily defeat most of the LEC teams, and now they're getting more information, which should make them better, and they're falling off. So can you maybe elaborate a bit more on the things like
Yeah.
Drake setup? How is that actually at the moment bringing you guys down in performance?
I mean, it's just different approaches of Drakes. Like before, we were just kind of like, oh, it's 30 seconds till Drake, let's group a Drake. And then we went there, and if we couldn't face check, we just flipped it, maybe enemy team has really good zone, and then you can't walk in, and then you all die, and like, oh shit, well, we couldn't do it. But now we kind of do it in advance, and yeah, I got told I can't go into too much detail,
Yeah.
so I'll keep it right there.
Yeah.
I'll cut it. I wouldn't mind elaborating more, but okay, never mind. Next thing, wait, what was the other thing? There's another thing I wanted to say, but I kind of forgot. Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just move on to the next question, and maybe you'll remember it later on. But yeah, it's all good. Happens to the best of us. For me, and I think many other people were willing to give G2 a lot of leniency because we've seen them bounce back so many times. But in this split, where we also see many other teams be pretty competitive, some might really wonder, is this G2 gonna make worlds? But if I hear you talk, okay, we're gonna need 3 more weeks and then we have it all nailed down, that's not a fear you have at the moment or a consideration.
Yeah, not really. I think worlds should still be really doable. And yeah, I guess what I wanted to say, I guess from the previous one where you asked,
sure,
that after we added new stuff, we got worse. I think also a lot of the other teams got good, and also the meta is quite different. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like every game is just kind of decided in draft, but also you kind of just play for Drakes, and you can't really play on side that much. But I think that might change with the new patch, with a new item. What's it called? Whole Breacher, something like that. Something that you can split push with. So maybe we can see more of that. And just I think this new patch will bring a lot of changes, and could be beneficial, could not be. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think still Worlds is like quite far in the future, but I'm pretty sure we can get good enough to make it. We're probably gonna be top 3 this split, right?
Right. Okay, well, to round up the interview, because you touched on drafts, I think that's another topic then. Similar to the new information you get in-game, drafts, even though G2 has memed them a lot, and the process of them and how they play out, and making it sometimes maybe a bit more difficult for yourself than it used to be. The champions are still kind of the same. Of course, now you have Viego and Gwen, and the values are going to change a bit. So, as a team that's so seasoned, has played through so many metas collectively as well, how is it still possible for you guys to still really struggle with figuring out how you want to play? I especially think, for me, what stood out was the play against Vitality, where there was a Karma, you had Olaf, who kind of want to support going in, I guess, and you buff the Olaf and he runs in, but then you had Jinx on the backline who was trying to keep more distance. Can you explain how it is possible still for the team to struggle maybe with figuring out the drafts, or how this new input is influencing that?
I mean, I think it has a lot to do with not getting into the same situations in scrims. So if it works in scrims, you're just kind of gonna assume that it's good, right? For example, no one really played Taric against us in scrims. We kind of played it a few times, but yeah, no one else really played it. So, for example, they were kind of caught off by the Taric pick, and the Taric pick kind of won them the game. I think I couldn't really think of anything
pretty good
to
in the
pick into it that would like make sense. I was thinking of like Bard, but then it feels like too hard to lane, and I don't really want to ult anyone on their team. Everyone can kind of just tank it or dodge it and be fine. So I felt like Mehle with Pantheon would win early, and then play Asylum with my ult. That seemed like the best like option out of the things. But yeah, and then for example, the Schalke week, we weren't aware how broken Akali was, because now everyone kind of permabans it and first picks it, but we kind of left it for 4-5, and we couldn't really deal with her with our champs that we had. That was like another big fuck up, because people did play Akali. It just didn't look good, right? Like it didn't really win many games. And I guess with the Vitality game, oh yeah, I think we just didn't make sense what we drafted, because we got Gwen, right? And Gwen is like pretty broken, I think. We just didn't really draft a comp that revolves around our first pick, which is Gwen, which is broken. We drafted around our 2-3, which were Tampkinch, Jinx, and then we wanted to draft around Jinx to outscale. But it doesn't make sense if we pick Gwen to draft around the 2-3 pick. But instead, if we draft around Gwen, which is the newest champ, the newest release, so it must be the most broken.
Right.
So if we draft around that champ, we're probably going to have a lot better result. Like if we draft champs that want to go in with her or set her up, then that game is probably a lot different as well, right? So, I mean, that's just a lot of stuff we can take over the next 2 weeks going in. And yeah, probably won't make the same mistakes again.
All right. Well, I hope for you and for the G2 fans that we do indeed see the improvement that you're talking about, and I hope maybe a bit for Grabs' sanity as well, that the drafts get to a point where you guys cannot meme on him anymore for this. But thank you so much, Mickey, for joining today, and best of luck in the rest of the split.
Thank you.